Okay, now if you're putting on your electric actuator, in the kit, you're going to get the electric actuator itself. You're going to get the control box that hooks to the Rascal with a set of mounting hardware. You're going to get a rocker switch, and the rocker switch is actually going to have an extension for it. Some of your UTVs and things, you'll have to make your extension switch longer so you can plug them in. You can get an extra 4 foot of extension on the controls. Also, you're going to get a set of mounting hardware for the rocker switch. There's variable pieces in here, so if you need to put it straight, put it on an angle, or there's 2 curved pieces to attach it to a set of handlebars. You're going to get the main harness. Now the main harness, as you see, I'll step off to the side here a little bit. The main harness comes with a black and a white wire. In your kit, you're also going to have an inline fuse. Now the inline fuse, you'll hook the black to black, you'll crimp the crimp down. After you've crimped it on, then you'll pull your heat shrink over it. And after you've got both ends covered, then you'll heat it up a little bit so that it seals to keep it watertight. You'll do the same thing with the white wire. You hook the white to white. And then the rocker switch plugs into this end that comes on the wiring harness. And after you plug that in, then what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to go down and you're going to want to attach it to the frame of your vehicle. You're going to want to look for hot points and pinch points because you want to keep it away from the exhaust, the motor, the springs, things like this where it'll pinch and break the wires. After you've got it all hooked in, the black wire is going to, if you see on the end of your fuse, it's got a little red tag that has a positive sign on it. That hooks to the positive side of your battery. Same with the white wire. It's got a negative side on it. That's going to hook to the negative side of your battery. And then if it's not long enough, again, you have your extension for the end of it to go back from your tow vehicle to reach back to the Rascal. Ready? Okay, after installing our wiring harness with this vehicle, we needed to put the extension on because it is a UTV. Now the next tools we're going to need an 1 1/8" nut for the head of the bolt. We're going to need an 1 16" wrench for the nut on the bolt. And then we're going to need a 1/2 inch wrench so that when we go to install our control box, which sits right on here, right in front of where the jack area is, you're going to need, out of the hardware pack, you're going to get a flat bar with the 2 holes drilled in it. That'll go on the bottom. You're going to run your U-bolt up. After it's sticking through the box, you're going to put on a washer first, and then your nylock nut. You're going to do your other side, of course. And then you're going to use your 1/2 inch wrench or socket. Socket would be preferable because of the depth it's in, but you could do it with either one. And you're going to tighten both these down. After you have it tightened down, then what we're going to do, we're going to take our big wrenches, which I've already loosened this one, and we're going to take our nut off the end. Now, you'll notice right now, I can't slide anything. So what you're going to do is you're going to run your jack a little bit until you get play in it. Now that you've got play in it, the next step is we're going to remove the bottom bolt so we can take this jack out to put the new actuator in. With a 3/4 inch socket and 3/4 inch wrench, you're going to loosen the bottom bolt on the jack, and then you're going to remove the bottom bolt, slide it forward at the bottom, and then you can remove the jack away from the Rascal. Alright, so now you may have also opted to buy the remote wireless unit to raise and lower. It comes with 2 key fobs and a remote switch. If you notice, if you reach inside the control box, there's a 4-prong wire connection, white. These simply just plug in together. Then you just drop the control box back in. And this has 2 regulators in it. It's got an up and a down. And they usually don't go bad, but they can. So if they ever do, you can take those out, take them to a local parts store, and you can pick those up. They can match them up locally. The nice thing about this step is if you have the remote, what you're going to do on this one, we had to put an extension wire because it is on a UTV, and the extension wire at first was a little bit too long hanging down. So what I've done, I've taken a wrap around the hitch just to make sure it doesn't drag the ground. And then the same thing back here. If this is too long, you can wrap it around to make it any length you want, then plug it in. Once you plug that in, we've already previously plugged the extension in front. Now we'll set our motor up here. Our motor is a 2-prong plug. We'll plug this in here. Once this is plugged in, now we can run it up or down to get it to the right height. So what we'll do next, we'll put our top piece on. In your kit, you also got some bushings. And the smaller bushings are going to go for your lower part section. And okay, now that we've slid our actuator onto our top bolt, what we're going to do is what they call setting the limit switch. And what this does is it tells the unit how far and how far up and how far down it can go. So what we're going to do first is we're going to turn it all the way in as far as it goes until it stops. Once it stops, then we're going to turn it. We're going to count. 1, 2, 3 complete turns. That set our limit switch to the right, up, and down. Now, if you have the wireless remote unit, at this time you can just push your button to get it to move up or down. If not, you're going to have somebody that's going to have to work the unit with you and push the rocker switch down until you line this up. But then what you want to do is keep extending out the bottom of the jack until you have it lined up with the bolt holes. Once you have it lined up with your bolt holes, you're gonna run your bolt in. Now you have your bushings, and you're gonna put on the side of your bolt, you're gonna put the bushings. Once you have it at the right length, you're going to want to put both bushings on your bottom bolt. You're going to want to line it up, push it through. I'm still not exactly right. I'm still need to go down just a hair. Now that I've got it right, install my washer, install my nut, then slide your top over, and then reinstall your nut on there. Then next, you're going to tighten down the bolts, the lower bolt, the upper bolt, tighten down your bolts on your unit up here, and you're ready to go drag.